Joined by Montclair State University. They just won the third game of the 2012 NCAA Division III Softball Championship. We're joined by head coach Anita Kubica, Dana Amato, their third baseman, and pitcher Alex Hill. Welcome with comments about today's game from the head coach.
It was a great game to be the team that came out on top. It was a battle, pitching duel, obviously, and we knocked on the door a couple of times with opportunities, but could not get the hit to drive in a run. So I needed to manufacture a little bit, some short ball, little game, small ball, and do something to try to cross the plate. So it was. I thought both pitchers threw very well today. Great game.
We'll open the questions up to media here in a second, but Coach, you kind of alluded into that. You have a game like today. Talk about what goes through a coach's mind in a close game like this. Your progression as you go, what you had at the start of the game, third inning, fifth inning, and then get into that seventh inning, what you're trying to do.
Stay positive, not get frustrated, keep being positive. The one thing that we were doing well all game was playing solid defense. So maintaining that and trying to make adjustments with what we were doing with our at-bats and get stronger, a little bit stronger each time.
Gene?
Alex, just talk about the job you did today out there. It seemed like you had your mojo working and you were breezing through. Did you just feel really good coming in? Or?
Yeah, when we got here today, I was feeling really good, and then my team always backs me up. So I know that if I miss a pitch and something goes wrong with me, myself, personally, that they'll be there to back me up. So I was feeling really good coming into this game.
Dana?
Yeah.
Dana, talk about the sac fly. Did you just recognize that it was a pitch that you could drive?
Well, I was looking for something slow maybe after looking at the changeup, but I just wanted to get something far in the outfield for us to see if we can score a run on the tag.
Talk a lot about situational play, and we'll go for both of you. You're talking about opposite sides. Dana, start with you first. You're in a sacrifice fly situation, but it's a situational ball. You've got one out already in the inning. What are you trying to do with that play? As you see the inning progress, how does your mindset change as you go through it?
I was just trying to hit the ball hard, and with any at-bat for me, it's just try to hit the ball hard, hit somewhere, make the teammate plays.
And then, Alex, when you're pitching in a tight game where no runs are on the board and every hit, every walk can mean something about what happens during the game, how do you feel as you progress? Do you get a little tighter? Do you start to do things a little bit different to try and make sure that you don't give them a reason to get that one run across that could decide the game?
I try not to get frustrated, and that is a problem for every pitcher. That when you let the frustration get the better of you, sometimes it ends up that a run could score earlier, or like you end up being out-dueled by the other team. So I try not to let the frustration get the better of me. So even with a walk or a hit, I try to come back and refocus in on the task at hand. So I've gotten out of some innings thanks to the help of my teammates, and sometimes you just got to refocus in.
Strikeouts are kind of what you do, and you get some help from your teammates, obviously with good defense, but you had 8 more strikeouts today, and that's part of your pedigree as a pitcher. What makes you an effective strikeout pitcher? What is the key to you being able to get so many strikeouts?
I think it's just the fact that I'm able to hit my spots. So coming into a game like this, early on especially, I'm able to hit those spots regularly. So I think that definitely helps with getting the strikeouts.
Gene, anymore?
I just wanted to ask you, did you expect them to walk Dana in the bottom of the last inning? Or is it the fact that they didn't want to face out?
I think Dana set them up great in that game because she really didn't do anything. So, but you're a coach, and I've been in the same situation. You know it's the 3-hitter, it's a great hitter, but we've handled this person all day, so we think we have her number. Especially, her at-bat before was looking. She didn't even swing the bat on a great changeup that came past her. So
you're being serious about that?
Okay. Yeah, that was serious.
Okay.
So I think that, again, as a coach, I've done the same thing, and I've gotten it right sometimes, and I've gotten it wrong at times. So I think that it was almost like a false sense of, we've handled her all day, we could do it again. And that's just my opinion, and it may be different, but that's how I took it.
Okay.
Well, Coach and players, I want to thank you for joining us today. Good luck the rest of the tournament.
Thank you very much.
Joined by Plattsburgh State, they just played in the third game of the 2012 NCAA Division III Softball Championship. We're joined by head coach Stephanie Zweig and pitcher Ashley Marshall. Coach, we'll open with comments from you about today's game.
We knew coming into this game that Montclair State was going to have a strong pitcher. We knew we were going to have a strong pitcher, and I think that we didn't expect that it would be as much of a pitcher's duel that it actually was. But, you know, I love to see the defense work hard, would have liked to see some more offense, but I think that we knew what we were going to get into, and I just think that we had a harder time adjusting than we thought at the plate.
We'll open it to media in a second, but when we're talking about a game like this where it becomes game of situations, talk about the progression of a coach's thinking throughout this game as you come from first to third to fifth inning and finally that last inning where you know one run could mean the difference. Talk about a mindset of a coach throughout a game like this.
I think that as you start to see that maybe your hitters are not going to do as much as you think that they're going to do, you have to try and find other ways to do that. But, you know, unfortunately the bat is not in my hand and the ball is not in my hand, and there's only so much you can do, and there's only so much you can, you know, rely on your athletes to do. And I think that if you start to put too much pressure on them, they start to, you know, have a sense of urgency that isn't going to necessarily help them. So even though we, you know, came short up in this game, we still were able to stay positive through the game, and we're ready to come out tomorrow. And I think that, you know, doing anything that we could was limited based off of the lack of adjustments at the plate.
Gene?
Ashley, just talk about, you really battled this game. They had a lot of long counts at the plate, and they were battling you. And just talk about how you feel and how you were feeling during the game. I mean, do you get kind of pumped up when you're in a pitcher's duel like that?
Oh yeah, definitely. It was a fun game to be in. It didn't turn out in our favor, but it's definitely a fun game. And I've had a lot of long counts this whole season, so it's nothing new for me to go 3-2 in the count with a lot of foul balls. That's happened the whole time, so it was a great game.
I wanted to ask you, Coach, did you, in the last inning, did you consider at all walking Amato? You know, did you consider that at all, or did you not want to
I
face
thought
it?
about it, but honestly, she hadn't done anything against us the whole day. So sometimes if you go away from your game plan and you kind of predict what's going to happen, sometimes it doesn't work out in your favor. So, you know, staying with the game plan, and Ashley had shut her down the whole day. So, you know, there's only so much you can do in a situation like that. And Hill was up next, and I think that with her being up next, she's one of their better hitters, and the bat would have been in her hands then, and we probably would have ended up in the same type of situation. So no matter where we were at that point, I think we were kind of stuck, and we just tried to approach the batter one pitch at a time.
Talk about your team's mindset this year when following a loss, Coach, and what gets your team back on track?
Well, we worked with a sports psychologist in the beginning of our season, and he talks a lot about being positive and kind of like if you strike out saying, so what, next pitch. You know, it's really not helpful at all to focus on the past. It's not going to do anything for us. So we have those posters in our dugout to kind of remind us of what we need to do to think in a forward, positive thinking kind of way. And I think that you know, that's what we need to do at this point. I think we know that we weren't ourselves today, and we usually are a much more offensive team than we were, so we're going to do our very best to do that tomorrow and not worry about what we didn't do today.
Well, will Ashley pitch tomorrow? Do you know yet?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Depends on the day. I mean, I think that our approach here is to try and stay, you know, well, obviously we're not in the winner's bracket right now, but to stay one game at a time. If we're one game at a time, we're going to go with our best to do that. So if it happens to be Ashley, then it's going to be, you know, it's going to end up that way. But our other pitcher, Heather, has done a phenomenal job, and the way we've worked her with the past couple weekends in different tournaments is she's kind of our secret weapon, and kind of unleash her at those moments where everyone expects Ashley, but they're going to get something else. So I don't know if that time has come yet, but I guess you'll have to see tomorrow.
And Ashley, if the coach calls on you tomorrow, will you be ready mentally and physically?
Yeah, definitely. Same thing she was saying. So what next pitch? It's kind of so what next game now. So we have to. This game's over. It just helps you move on, and you just gotta go out and do it tomorrow.
It's also a sense of I think last weekend we went undefeated in our regional tournament, so sometimes it takes a reminder of a loss to kind of remember what you need to do to be better. So I think that sometimes, even though a loss does put you down a little bit, it kind of makes you better at the same time. And even though we haven't lost very many games, we have lost games or weekends in very important moments or parts of our season that has pushed us to be better at the right time. So even though a loss does put us down, it's a lot better to have a loss the first day than the last day, in my opinion.
All right, well, Coach and Ashley, thank you for joining us today. Good luck the rest of the tournament.
Thank you. Thank you. Are these for us?
Yep, you can have them.